I'm recording it because I did have several people. I know it's the holiday weekend too, and I did have several people who had like family gatherings, things that they couldn't get on here for, so I wanted to record it for them. So I'm actually going to make this shorter than I normally do, just because us leaders are getting together after this, and we're going to game plan about some things for you guys that we have in store. I'm really, really excited to tell you guys kind of the things that are set up for this month and what's happening. And I just love freaking Sunday night Zooms with you guys. I know that we have Zooms on Monday night, but the fact that like where I can personally be able to connect with each of you guys on Sunday, it means a lot more. And I know that in bigger settings like Morgan's team Zooms on Mondays, those are phenomenal. I literally don't think I could ever top those, but I love for it to be a little bit more personal. And so hopefully it always comes across that way. And I love how many people have their cameras on. It makes me so happy. I'm like a happy little mom over here. Okay, so this is going to kind of be all over the place, so just bear with me because it's more of like a kind of setting the tone for the month and setting the tone so most of you guys know, and it's okay, Amber, you're just going to make me a little bit hungry, but that's totally fine. I know this is probably like really crazy to say, but I know like when I get pregnant, that's the one thing I'm going to be really excited about is how much I can eat and be like, oh, I'm just growing another baby inside me. It's fun. That's literally all I've thought about. So anyway, so this month is super freaking crazy. So the company is announcing things Tuesday, and we're actually switching our Morgan's team Zoom to Tuesday of this week. So it kind of aligns up since tomorrow's a holiday. So make sure that you're going to be able to get on that Tuesday. We do date nights on Tuesdays, but I'm going to switch everything around for that because it's going to be a really amazing Zoom. So with what was being announced and what's going to be announced, there are a lot of things shifting in the company, and I'm so freaking excited for it. The leaders, the diamonds and above already know what's going on. And if I could say anything right now, I can tell you being 6 years in this business, like knowing the heart of our people in this company, the CEO, and knowing that they saw something that wasn't really working as much anymore. Because, you know, when you've been in business or you know that you just do anything in life, you sometimes have to pivot and you sometimes have to shift because sometimes the things that you do don't work. Sometimes you find, okay, what I used to do 10 years ago isn't working now or whatever. They saw that and they immediately hopped on it. And so the growth rate that's going to have this, like, I actually know the statistics behind it because I got with another triple diamond leader and she's super green, and she was like, okay, this is what I asked them, this is what I needed details on, this is the statistics, and this is how much our company is going to grow. It's going to grow up to like 80% after this freaking thing is being announced. Like, that's how crazy it is. So I'm really freaking excited for it. So with that being said, what I want everybody to focus on. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I will personally be gone. I'm leaving Wednesday morning at like 5 a.m. I'll be working in the car then, so that's not really a big difference, but I'll be gone from Wednesday all the way till the next week because of my honeymoon and my wedding coming up. And so if you haven't got a coaching call in with me yet and you specifically want one, please text me. I've been doing coaching calls just to kind of help you guys with y'all's goals. And obviously there's the leaders on here too, so you're going to have coaching calls with them. So if you've already had one with them and you're like, I think I got it all handled, they're amazing. So it's not like you have to sit here and do a coaching call with me, but if you want one and you kind of need clarity or direction on something, I would love one. I love connecting with each of you. And so anyways, I'll be gone for a week and a half. And then once we get back, I earn retreat. So I'll be back for like 4 days, maybe not even 4 days. And then I'll be gone again for a full week. And that's going to be because of retreat and then conference. So it's a really busy month. And I can honestly say, like, me being gone for that long, sometimes when I go on vacation, I'm like, I panic. So I'm like, I'm someone who likes to connect with everybody. So I'm like, if I can't connect and talk to you 24/7 like I normally do, I freak out. And so I'm trying to release that control. So I wanted to set the tone for tonight to let you guys know, if you hear me if you see that I'm not as loud, it's not because I'm not leading from the front. It's genuinely because I'm on my honeymoon and I'm going to take that time to spend with my new husband. So I wanted to let you guys know that beforehand. So if you need me, get me now before I leave. And that way I can be fully focused on that. And then the leaders in this team will obviously take over everything, which they're already good with. So I'm not worried about any of that. But that specifically is like, hey, just letting you guys know, I'm not putting this business on the back burner. That's just kind of what's happening this month. So bear with me with that. And anyways, so that's as far as like me being on. So if you need me, let me know. And then we'll set up times to talk between now and Tuesday. And I'm going to be with someone who's in It Works that's driving me there. So I can do like FaceTimes if I need to in the car then too. I switched cars for kind of that reason and for some other reasons too. So I could just work and get things done. So anyways, if you need me, just let me know. And then the things that are being announced, the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is if you have not been branding yourself and if you feel like you've been failing at telling your story, and being very genuine, I want you to change and start a new path today. And we're coming up with a system and we're coming up with like a boards app so we can help our new distributors who decide to join us start branding themselves pretty much off the bat. But if you feel like you're kind of shaky in that area too, please ask me any questions or please ask your enroller. I feel like all the leaders on here are honestly really good at branding and they're stepping more into that. I'm stepping more into that and I've done very well. I feel like it's gone very well for me to the point where I still have people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm interested in the business. I see that you do this and I love your story. I know Amber has that happen to her all the time. Kelsey's a freaking boss at that. Like all these ladies are really good at that. And so if you if you feel like you're not as strong in branding yourself, you're really good at posting about the products, but you kind of get lost in like figuring out what to say about the business, I'm asking you to ask your enroller of, hey, where can I flip the switch today? And all we're asking you is just to get one distributor. That's all we're asking. We're not asking you to do the steps to success, which is 3 distributors. We're not asking you to mass enroll. We're not asking you that. We're just asking you to get a friend. And I can tell you from experience. So I have a girl, Kayla, I'll shout her out on here. She's on here. I'm so freaking proud of her. As soon as she started sending me screenshots of all of her conversations, she's literally about to sign a distributor tonight because she just simply sent me conversations and she was like, hey, what do I say to this? And I was able to help guide her through that conversation. So if you feel like you're so independent and you're like, no, I got this, and then you feel like your enrollments aren't where they need to be, start sending screenshots to your enroller again. Okay, I promise you guys, it's just as simple as that because as soon as she sent me a screenshot, I was like, oh my gosh, just this one little tweak right here. And then she just started having flow of conversations after conversations after conversations. And that's what we want you to do. So something I wanted to ask you guys, and y'all can blow up the chat, some words of affirmation. So please blow it up. How do we feel about doing a boom contest while I'm gone? It won't be anything for the full month long. And if you don't know what a boom contest is you post your enrollments. Okay. So a boom contest is like, we'll start from like, I'll set the tone. So I'll say, hey, let's get 50 enrollments from this time to this time. So obviously it'll be the time from my wedding to the honeymoon. So it'll be probably starting Wednesday all the way to the end of my honeymoon. And that's when the boom will be. So it'll give you enough time span to get those conversations in. But anytime you get an enrollment in, you're going to say boom, #1, hashtag, whatever, and then put their name or like their customer ID. And you're going to put it in a drawing on our team page. And then every like 10 booms we hit, I'll do a little drawing. But then at the end, whoever lands on the end enrollment, so say like they do boom 50, we got 50, okay, we reached that goal, there's going to be a big drawing. I don't know what that's going to be. It could be cash. It could be something like is something as big as like paying for a trip somewhere. I don't freaking know. Don't know yet, but that would be really fun. If you feel like you would be down to do that, can you at least put a 1? If you're a little bit iffy, can you still put a 1? Only because boom contest help push you to your limits of knowing what you're capable of. And boom contest, even if you're not money driven, Amber's not money driven on here, but she wins some freaking boom contests. Okay. She literally just won a boom contest for a free coffee when we did one last week. And so I promise you, it holds you accountable and it shows you if other people are enrolling, I can enroll too. What am I doing? And then that can cause you to ask questions, not to compare, but it can say, okay, I've seen Shauna, I've seen her sit here and enroll like 15 times. What is she doing? And then you go ask her a question. She gives you the feedback and then you start enrolling because you just asked that simple question. And that's something that I really wanted to do for you guys, especially while I was gone, because to make it fun, to have drawings for you guys. And we're not focused on mass enrolling this month. Okay. That is something that I wanted to kind of like take the edge off of. I think a lot of people in this business have this misconception. It's understandable, but have this misconception of you have to be, if in order to be successful and make a lot of money in this business, you have to be a mass enroller. I've actually once thought that before, and I now know that's not the case, but that's directly what our company is steering away from, is to show you that you can have quality over quantity any day and you can make a lot of money with it. And so I'm not focused on you sitting here enrolling 60 million customers, but what I'm asking you is to start putting in the work, and I promise you're going to see the enrollments come behind it. And with that, you're going to see a higher paycheck. And with that, you're going to see the bonuses that they have to announce, which it's all I can say is it's like a $3,500 cash Christmas bonus. So that's literally all I can speak out. There's not in much details, but all I'm saying is that you get to get it paid out all in once. And who does not want an extra $3,500? Okay, especially around Christmas time. And you can start earning that now. So I would love to do a boom contest with you guys. Again, this is kind of all over the place, so bear with me. It's kind of announcements, kind of like giving you tips at the same time, whatever it is. But as far as that goes, so I was thinking about setting up a boom contest. FaceTime. So if you need a FaceTime and if you want to connect, please let me know. If you have goals for this month and you don't know which direction to take, I would ask your enroller or ask me or ask your leader or whatever, because here's something that I want you guys to kind of focus on too. And you've heard it a million times, but I want you to hear it now. So instead of waiting until December rolls around to be like, okay, now since January is rolling around, I'm going to make my New Year's resolutions. I don't want to see people do that. I don't want to see people setting their expectations of in January they're going to start working, because we know when you start working in January, you would start getting paid for that work technically in March. Okay. I want you guys to start seeing big paychecks now. And even if it's just little increases like, oh, $5 here, $20 here. I've literally made $100 in samples cash this weekend, you guys. So $100 sample cash. Do this. Like, I want to see those little wins from you guys, and it's going to come from you being coachable and you doing the things necessary and you setting like little bitty goals for yourself. So for instance, what they're announcing is they told us to all focus on getting 4 customers and 1 distributor. That is your first freaking goal. And I would really love to see almost every single person hit that. And I don't want to set these high expectations, especially if you've never even rolled in customer in your life. If 4 customers freak you out, focus on 2 this week. Okay. Whatever your goal is, set a goal for yourself. So you're going to be able to work through that goal. And then when you hit it, you're going to get excited and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, okay, now I can upgrade to a little bit more. And so it'll be more exciting for you. And so set goals for yourself this week. And then another thing is, I was going to read this because it was really, really good. And it was talking about moving forward. And I think this goes along with, so bear with me because this is, again, all over the place. So I found myself when I was posting and when I was doing the work that I was not connecting. I was more of doing the things just to check it off of a list. And if you know anything about that, you can probably relate. So if you've ever done that, can you just put like a me, like just type me or put 2, I don't care what the frick you do, but just type something below to let me know that I'm not alone on that. Like sometimes I'll just go through the checklist and I'm like, oh, did this with no intentions behind it. And I realized that I wasn't connecting with the people that I was trying to make a difference in the first place. We do social media marketing. We do network marketing, guys. So obviously we are on social media. Why, instead of sitting here just putting up like mindless little post and has no meaning behind it, why don't we get real and raw? And maybe you don't have like such a raw story, but maybe you just get a little bit deeper and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth about my story. And I'm gonna take about 10 more minutes of extra time to write out this post, which you should be getting on content planning Zoom to have your post planned anyways. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper so I can connect with more people instead of putting in these random filler posts that mean nothing. Okay. And so I really worked on my connection. And I really kind of had to do a self-check, and this is something that's really going to help you with the announcements that are coming out, is they're going to tell you to start connecting more, start telling your story, start being real, start being you, stop putting all this filler and fake stuff in and trying to be someone else when it's just not you. And so something that I read today from this leadership book that I always read from, it says, once connected, then move forward. And it says, if you want to influence others and you desire to get them moving in the right direction, you must connect with them before you try to take them anywhere. Attempting to do it before connecting is a common mistake of inexperienced leaders. Trying to move others before going through the connection process with them can lead to mistrust, resistance, and strained relationships. Always remember that you have to share yourself before you try to share the journey. As someone once observed, leadership is cultivating in people today a future willingness on their part to follow you into something new for the sake of something great. Connections creates that willingness. And so that kind of goes along with the tasks that we already do anyway. So like interacting. If you're not interacting daily, I would really recommend you start doing that. That's a part of the 6 list anyways. And it's something so simple to bring you connecting to your followers. I was talking to someone this week, and this is what made the difference from her enrolling to her having no conversations to now she's having an abundance, is as soon as she was adding people, she was messaging them. And it wasn't anything on her fault. It was just, I guess I didn't clarify, hey, don't do that. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is the part where we can shift and we can change or whatever. As soon as she stopped doing that and she started really connecting, really interacting, really posting meaningful things, she started getting instant replies. And that's something that I want to show you guys. What we do isn't supposed to be so freaking hard. So if you feel like you keep hitting this wall over and over and over again, you feel like you're a fraud and you feel like you're someone that you're not, stop being that person and start being you and start being real and start telling your story. If you have a really crappy childhood and you can talk about that and you don't feel uncomfortable talking about that, talk about it. If you've been through really, really rough stages of depression where you didn't think you would get out of it, talk about it. If you've went through a rough patch with you and your marriage and you are okay with being open with that, talk about it. Whatever it is that you have been through, people are going to connect with you on that type of level, okay? And I can tell you from experience, when I started being me and I started being more real and I started being really passionate about what I was posting. So that's why the pillars of branding yourself is really important. If you don't know what that is, ask and I can send you the video, the branding video that's really, really, really good. And it just talks about how you bring value, whether you think you do or not. I have a girl on my team. She's like, I'm just a couch potato. I'm like, you provide value when you are a couch potato. You could recommend freaking Netflix shows. Like, come on now, you can do something. Like, we all bring value. And I think that sometimes we have limiting beliefs that we don't, and then that brings our insecurities, and then we look over at Sally Sue and we're like, oh, she posted this, okay, I'll post it too. Oh, it blew up for her, but it didn't blow up for me because you weren't being yourself. And I think it just takes the pressure off of it. And I promise you, what the company is going to announce, you're going to be so mind blown of how great it is to make money, but you're also going to be like, dang, okay, I need to take a step back and figure out some things of my own ish, and I need to figure out what areas I need to work in. And that's what I did. And I was like, I need to connect. I need to freaking connect. And so that's where the branding yourself starts coming in. And so that is something that I really, really want you to kind of hone in on this week. And it says right here, it says, identify someone on your team with whom you need to connect with. Or this is like a leadership book, so it talks about your team. So if you're brand new and you don't even have a team, that's okay. Think about someone on your, I've done this a lot before. Think about someone on your timeline that you have personally connected with and you've brought up the opportunity and they were like, I can't because my kids need this and I can't afford to pay for this starter kit. And you can connect with that. Post about something like that this day, saying, I remember before I joined this business, I couldn't afford diapers, or I knew a mom who couldn't afford diapers, or whatever. Draw that connection in, and I promise you it's going to bring you that person that is ultimately going to change your business. And so I would really love to start seeing us connect more and be more real and raw in our post and be who we are, because I don't ever want someone to walk away from, our team and be like, I just didn't feel myself. I want you to be your most authentic, real self, to where you find so much more things about yourself that you're so proud of. And that's that this business has brought to me. And so I want y'all to feel that too. And so we're going to really work with you on that. As soon as the training comes out, it should be done by tonight, and I'll be able to start sending it to people. We'll have that in place to really start helping people, like really start branding themselves when they get started. So anyways, with that being said, that's one portion of that. Another thing is I wanted to ask people, like, since I will be gone for the week and a half, something that I would absolutely love is to come back. And I know I'm trying not to set like such high expectations, because let's be real, there was something that Morgan said, and it said, when you set expectations on people, you'll realize that they're not, I don't know. It was a really hard saying. She said something about don't set too much expectations on people because they'll always disappoint you because it was something that you thought that they would do and they weren't meant to do that in the first place. So I'm not trying to set these high expectations, but something that I would love is for us to move as a team together. I want us to like sit here and just be the most incredible team moving forward. And again, this isn't me asking you to mass enroll, but when you're enrolling someone and you're having really good conversations, share it with someone on your team, share it in the team chat. I know that we have probably like 50 million team chats. I get that it's sometimes overwhelming for people. Faith Over Fear is our specific team chat. Goal Crushers, Morgan's whole entire team chat. And then you might have branched out, made your own. I respect it. But we come together as a team and we rise together as a team. And when you help other people, that's when you see that the best version of yourself is coming out. So whenever you have tips, Whenever something good is working for you, share it. Hype yourself up, okay? There was something that I learned that I heard, I think it was last week, we were on some type of Zoom, and I think it was a leader Zoom, and the girl was like, well, I'm afraid to shout out my like enrollments, and I'm afraid to shout out this because I feel like people are probably looking at me like I'm bragging, and that then they start comparing themselves and realizing that they're not doing it, and then they start getting get all in their head or whatever. Here's something that I want you to know. Whenever you post your enrollments, whenever you post that something's working for you, whenever you post how many conversations you're having, that is not bragging. That is giving someone else inspiration. And so I would love, 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 love for every single win that you have, not only celebrate it for yourself, but have other people celebrate it with you. When you have a post that blows up for you, I am so proud. Like, I am genuinely so proud. When people send me conversations, I literally, the whole entire time I send them voice messages, I'm like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for sending me these conversations. I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud because I want to see people win. And when other people start seeing other people win, then they don't feel alone and say that someone else is in like a crappy headspace. For instance, if they see other people enrolling and they're like, man, I really suck at this, but then they start seeing other people enrolling and they start seeing other people do really well, they're like, okay, it must be something that I'm doing that I can fix. It's not the business. It's not the company. It's not anything like that. And so it's always caring and sharing. Okay. And so that's something that I would love to see is people start hyping everything up, hype up your own wins and be like, I'm so damn proud of myself. I'm so freaking proud of myself. And I posted this on Dare to Be Diamond. If you didn't see this, this is kind of the thought process that I want you to have going into this month and just setting yourself up for success in this season. Okay. We all want bigger paychecks. We all want to promote. We all want to change lives. So in the process of that, why don't you focus on 1% getting better every single day? So if you did something yesterday that didn't necessarily serve the highest self of you, focus on getting 1% better today. And that 1% could simply just be you woke up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. And then the next day, it could be that you woke up 15 minutes earlier and then you read a book on top of that. Next day, it could be building on top of that. And when you focus on the 1%, the little percentages here and there and the little small wins, at the end of the day, you're going to be so dang proud of yourself instead of sitting here setting up this huge, huge goal. And then at the end of the day, when you don't reach it, you're like, I suck. How many of y'all have like reached, have y'all like set a really high like money goal or like a really high goal just in this business that you're not in control of? Like, I'm going to enroll 40 customers by the end of this week. I know I have. And I'm like, and the Friday rolls around and I'm like, oh, I'm not even on customer one. I suck. And I set high expectations for myself. And I'm like, why do you suck, Macy? And I'm like, okay, you just set the highest expectation. And then I set it on you guys. And I'm like, I've texted this girl. Why didn't she text me back in 10 minutes? Like, high expectations need to lower them just a little bit. And so that's something that I really want you guys to focus on going into this season, because it's when the company changes something and it's something as big as this in a good way, it's going to probably take a little bit more time because it's adjusting. It's new. You're pivoting. You're changing the ways that you used to be. And so it might happen slowly. It might happen fast. I don't know, but I know that this change is going to be so amazing and so massive. Literally what Amber said, it's going to be so great. And so focusing on the little wins until we can figure it out fully together. I fully believe in the next 90 days is like when everything's going to shift, but it has to come slowly too so people can adjust. So it'll probably be in 30-day increments. You're going to figure it out as you go, but we're going to make a lot more money. That's literally all I can say is we're going to make a lot more money. We're going to change a lot more freaking lives. And I want you to focus on being your best authentic self and being so excited for where you're going. Because if you've doubted yourself in the business before, don't doubt yourself any longer. You are meant here for a reason because of what's being announced. You're going to be amazed at how much this company cares for you. And I want you to know that. And I want you to know if you felt alone, if you felt lost, if you felt any type of negative emotion, we're here for you. We're here as a community. We're here to support you. And I just want this team I genuinely believe we have one of the best teams. Like, that's just me. I might be biased. I definitely am biased, but I know it's true at the same time. Kelsey and I spoke about this the other day. Kelsey was like, I truly believe that like our whole entire team is just the best team. I'm like, it's so good. Like, you can't break it apart. Like, all of us are just awesome. And so I just want you to be so proud of yourself and how far you've come. And then maybe you haven't done anything in the past 3 months, but you haven't quit. I still want you to be proud of yourself, okay? And so just know that today you can start over in something new. You can turn over a leaf and say, okay, what is not serving me? What is something that I need to change? What's the 1% that I can get better at today, tomorrow, next week? And who do I want to become in the process? And when you do that and all those things come together and you put the work in on top, because we know the basics of this business, this is why I didn't want to go over what to do in this business, because I think at this point, even if you're new, you know what to do. Like, what we do in this business is simple. It's the hardest, the biggest challenge I would say is the consistency level of doing it. That is the biggest overcomer that people tend to like really just like hold back on. That was me for the longest time. And I just want our team to win so much this month. And I know this, I'm cutting this short because this was only supposed to be like 30 minutes. But I just wanted to set the expectation of like knowing that what is about to happen, it's going to be incredible, and I want your guys' excitement to be there before anything is even announced. And it's going to be Tuesday, so it's like not far away before it gets announced. But go all in like today. Like, why don't you start focusing on getting host posts up, you guys? Why don't you start interacting, doing the things necessary, waking up early, diving deep into personal development, and then 30 days from now, when you're consistent, you're going to be so thankful for that dang paycheck, okay? It makes a huge difference. And so if you haven't been being consistent, if you haven't been doing the things necessary, change something today. If the company's changing stuff as big as they are, maybe it's time for you to change, because what you're doing maybe isn't working, or what you are doing, what I'm doing right now is working phenomenal. So I am not going to change it, but I had to change it last month. And so now what I'm doing is working very well. And I'm literally getting like 20 host posts up a day. I'm not even joking. And I'm getting so many potentials. And I just know that people are just going to flawlessly come into my business and just overcome it and be amazing. And so we'll do a boom contest. I'll announce more about that when I get like a graphic and stuff for it. But be prepared for that and focus on getting your 4 and 1. So get a distributor, get someone who you know has been wanting to do this business, and just say, girl, I know it's time. I know the time is ready. Number 2, take care of your customers. Make sure your customer retention is there. And if you don't know what customer retention is, ask. Send the meal plan to them. It's in the boards app. And make sure you're checking in with them. I'll send you a simple message that I'm sending to all of my customers. And they could stop ordering, or they could still be ordering. I don't care what it is, but this is the message that I'm sending them, just to give them a gratitude message, because our customers are a huge part of our business. And even if they canceled their auto shipment, guess what? That's going to happen. But even if they stopped ordering, I literally just had it, and now I'll find it in just a second and I'll send it in the team chat. But it's really, really good. So it's just a customer gratitude message. It's just letting them know that how appreciative you are of them. And when they get this message from me, they are always just so freaking nice, and they're so grateful for it. And I want your customers to stick around with you for a very long time. I literally have customers that have been ordering for me for years because I've taken care of them, and they love the products. And so that's going to help your volume. That's going to help overall your paycheck. And that's just going to help overall with your enthusiasm, because when your customers love the products and they're excited, that makes you 12 times more excited, you guys. Okay, let's be real. So let me make sure I didn't have anything. Again, this was kind of just like tips here and there, but basically I wanted to set the tone before when I go out of town, to let you guys know that if I'm silent, it's only because I'm out of town. But I'm so freaking excited. Oh my gosh, I've literally already got my 4 customers. I only need 1 distributor for my goal this month, and I'm making that happen before I go on the trip. I've just planned that, so that way I have everything organized. But if y'all have any questions and y'all need anything, please let me know. If you need a game plan for this month and you need kind of direction, there's not much to it besides me telling you, go get 4 customers and 1 distributor. That is the main thing I want you to focus on right now. Not necessarily, and normally I'm like, hey, go get out your charts, go get out this, get out a Ruby chart for sure, get out of whatever chart you're going for, focus on the 4 customers, 1 distributor. If you feel like you aren't having conversations, message your enroller or message me right now, and we will figure this out. Because the girls who have ask me questions, they're like, I feel like I'm not doing this or whatever. And then I analyze it, and I was like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? found it instantly, and then that's when their phone started blowing up because I was like, oh, this is just one little area that you needed help in. This is just one little tweak, and I promise you it changed the game. So when all that training comes out, I will definitely be able to send it to you guys, but this is about to be life-changing, and all I want you guys to know is just go freaking have fun with this business. This business is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have some energy behind it, so if you haven't felt your energy in a while, go find the one thing that makes you excited again. Conversations and having conversations with potentials literally fires me up. Like training new distributors fires me up. So that's what I'm going to focus on, you know? And so focus on the things that bring you happiness and joy and pour it into yourself. Personal development all the way. If you've not been doing that, you're self-sabotaging yourself. So freaking do it. And know that this week is about to just have such amazing things happening. I'm literally trying to find this message and I just had it. Give me a second and I can send it in the Faith Over Fear chat. But if anybody has any questions, you can ask before we hop off. We're just doing this as a shorter Zoom tonight. That way I can have a Zoom with the leaders too, so we can game plan for the things that we have in store for you guys. Yeah, I literally just typed it out, and I should have it in text replacement and boards now, which I guess I can add it in there. But I'll send it in Faith Over Fear chat. But does anybody have any questions before we hop off? Just because I just wanted y'all to know that this month's about to be amazing, and I want y'all to just start having all the conversations in the world. And also message anybody who has ever said that they didn't want to join because of the timing or whatever. Message them and say, now is the perfect time to join. This is the message I was talking about. Okay, that's the gratitude message for my customers, and that is freaking crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, due Tuesday. Okay, dang, you are about to have your baby. Amber had her baby while she was in this business last year. It was literally right when she just joined, and I remember that. And you were really good at balancing out the business and that whole lifestyle. I was very, very shocked. You were very, very good at time management and everything. And then there was one other message that I was going to send really quickly before we hopped off. And this was one about, it was one about if someone stopped working. Let's see. Okay, so if someone stopped working and you thought they were going to be really good and they stopped working, send this message to them and reach back out, because obviously what's being announced, it's going to be some freaking game changers. And so you want people to be on board. So that's what I'm sending you, people who quit and I thought that they were going to be really good. I'm sending it to them to give them kind of like another, opportunity. So that one's really good. Had 3 people come back. Exactly. It's so freaking good. And I'm being genuine. It's not like, I'm not sending it to people that literally I just was like, okay, I don't really feel you. I'm sending it to people that I was like, girl, I thought you were going to be a triple diamond on my team. What happened? So be very genuine with the person that you're sending it to. And then I think that was all the messages that I had. So just make sure to stay on top of that, but send conversations that you need help with. I promise you. I know us leaders have already been enrolling like crazy, and it's not because we're sitting here on our phones 50 million hours a day or anything like that. It's genuinely because we're very good with the conversations that we have. So if you feel like you're not very good at that area, send screenshots and we can start helping you enroll again, okay? Because that's the meat of this business is enrolling, okay? Because obviously we always want to help people bring in new blood. We want to help people with the products and lifestyle change that's going to make a big difference. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.